Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to show you 4 different ways to pop a tire off the bead, change it out on the side of the highway, in the desert, woods, wherever, because a lot of us, we know tires are expensive and we can't always afford a spare rim as well. So let's get started. So one of the most common tire problems I see with people having is on trailers, and a lot of times it's a trailer tire that pops because it either got too hot, it got a nail, it had too much weight on it, whatever. So I'm going to show you 4 different ways to pop tires off beads. First thing to understand is why a tire would pop from getting too hot. A lot of times it is due to a weak sidewall, meaning it's not strong enough for the weight you have, or you don't have enough air in it. And as the tire rotates on the low side where the weight is, if you're looking down the tire is going to do this as it's getting weight on it. And as it continues to roll and keeps doing that, it gets hot, and then that makes it pop. Now what I have here is a heavy duty equipment trailer, and the tires that are on it are an E-rated tire, which is okay for like that trailer out there, which I do have E-rated tires on that. But on here, that's just not strong enough to hold like a forklift, to hold a lot of weight. That's not going to hold up to highway speeds. An E-rated tire means it has a 10-ply sidewall, so it has 10 plies on here to try to keep it from bubbling out and popping, basically. So what I've always done is upgraded my tires to an F-rated or G-rated tire, usually G-rated, because a lot of times they're the same price as these E-rated tires, and then you have a 14-ply sidewall. Now there are companies out there like Tractor Supply that sell a tire with a wheel that a lot of people carry as a spare. The downside to that is that a lot of times they're only a 10-ply sidewall. Again, you got an E-rated tire, so you might be able to limp it to the next spot, or you may be only just to be able to afford a tire. That's a lot of times my case, and I just can't afford another rim for it as well. And what motivated me to do this video is I actually had this back tire blow up. You can see it crinkled up the fender and folded it all back, and then I had to kind of hammer it back out. Now the worst part about a blowout is it actually wrapped up in the axle, and I had to fix wiring and do all kinds of stuff, and that's what you don't want. I don't want a tire to blow. So I'm going to change it out to the 14-ply tires. Now when it comes to changing a tire, if you're in the desert or in the woods or on the side of the highway and you need to actually take the tire off the wheel, there's 2 things that you're probably going to have. Number 1 is tire spoons. Now this is what you would call an old school tire spoon. This is a Harbor Freight spoon. This is what most spoons look like nowadays, and they're a little longer, pretty easy to work with as well. If you watch me build this Jeep JK in the driveway, one of the things I talked about is a valve core puller. Now, obviously, if your tire pops, you're probably not gonna need it, but it's a good thing to have too. One of the other tools you're gonna need is a hammer. So as long as you have a hammer floating around in your vehicle, which if you travel, you know, a good hammer is always nice to have. And the last thing you're gonna need is a way to air up your tires when you change them out. And this is personal choice, but I always travel with an impact anymore. If I'm going any distance of any kind, I have a couple of these. I'll keep one in one of my trucks. These things come in real handy on the side of the road if you need them. Now one thing you should be traveling with in any vehicle is some form of a jack. Now in this case, on this Jeep, I have a high lift jack. So that's what we're gonna use first, is a high lift jack. You just set it up under like you would anything. Make sure it's got something sturdy to work off of. There we go. You just want to line the base of the jack up with the edge of the rim. There we go. That easy. Want to make sure that you have it greased, because these things actually lock up if they've been sitting for a while. They get a little crusty. Then you just flip it over and repeat the same steps. There we go. So the next part is actually getting the tire off the wheel. And this is something you can do on the side of the road as long as you got some spoons, some pry bars, something. These really come in handy. They're pretty cheap. I want to say they're just, they're like 10 bucks or something at Harbor Freight. I can't remember. As you pry the tire, you just work in a circle. I took a pretty big bite on that first one, but if you can't get it, you just come in a little closer and take a smaller bite of the tire. Once you have it free there, then you kind of work backwards on the other side of the wheel, coming out over here. Same concept though. The nice thing about these Harbor Freight ones is you can get your arm under it to get your next bite. And there it is. I'm not going to show you how to spoon every tire off because they're all repetitive on that. I'm just going to show you 4 more ways to break this tire bead once we get to that point. So ideally, when you go to mount the tire on the wheel, you want a spray bottle of soapy water, but you may not have that, but you might have just a bottle of water or some like PB-Blaster, WD-40 or something like that you can spray the tire bead with. I'm just gonna use water and see how that goes. Now, if you do it this way, what you don't want to do is get water inside your tire. That's going to make it never balance out ever. Even though these are trailer tires, you know, sometimes they do balance them. Now, when it goes to mounting these on, the steps are pretty much reversed other than you got to kind of hammer the tire bead back in. So the trick is to get the tire as close to the wheel as possible, and then you just got to work it around. There we go. Now you just got to repeat the same steps again. You just work it with the spoon and get it around. All right, so for the top part of the tire, you go back to your spoons again and you just work around just like you did to take it off. If you keep one knee in the pressure here, you want this tire to get underneath this bead. Too big of a bite. It should just pop that last bit. There we go. All right, the last thing we gotta do is air these tires up. And I personally like power tank or on power tank on most of my off-road rigs. And the reason I do that is, number one, I can fill it fast. Number two, I can put pressure to the tire. So if I have to make a tire pop bead, you can do that with one of these. Plus I can run air tools. I can run a lot of other options with a power tank. Now, if you can't afford a power tank, then your next option is like a little compressor. Now, there's a bunch of different like battery powered compressors. That way we can air up the tire, get your pressure back up, and then you get going. Personally, what I like to do when I air up tires is I like to air them up at full pressure of what the tire can do, especially on a trailer tire. And right here is where it'll say it. So it's a 14 ply rated, max load, 110 psi cold. Now, a lot of people's compressors won't do 110 psi. I'll probably at least do 90. There's always an engineered safety factor in there. So 110 psi, this tire could probably handle a lot more than that, but that's going to keep the tire as stiff as possible and won't let that sidewall flex happen, which is then going to make this tire last as long as possible as well. It's going to have it stay cooler. So that's what we're going to do to air up the tires. Now let me show you a few other ways to break those beads. Now, I understand not everybody's carrying a high lift or farmer jack, but what you probably have, at least on your vehicle, is a floor jack. I mean, I have a jack in my S10, in both of my big trucks. Obviously, I got the high lift on the Jeep. But if you have a floor jack, that is another way we can pop this tire off the bead. Now, the only reason this one looks different is because I actually made this piece and then welded it onto the regular cover. But you don't have to have this. You can just use a regular jack. This is just one that I had made for myself, and this is how I changed my tires for a long time. This is an older trick that I learned from an old timer on how to pop tire beads with your floor jack. So the first thing you need to do is you need a strap, which if you have a trailer, you're probably going to have some sort of tie down strap. I like to use the bigger, thicker ones, but I have popped these off using a very thin ratchet strap. I just wouldn't trust them as much. So what you gotta do here is take this hook and hook it on the front axle of the floor jack. Now, once you have it hooked there, you take the strap and go over the tire, you go underneath the jack, and then back up just like this, so it's wrapped over itself. Now you take your ratchet and you do the same thing. You hook this to the front axle. Throw your strap through the ratchet, and then you can tighten it down. Now, one of the things you got to set up is the front of your jack, where the actual jack part is that comes up and grabs the metal. That cup you want just inside the tire. You don't want to be on the rim at all. So you want it just inside the tire as you tighten this down. And it doesn't have to be crazy tight. It can be just like that. And now all we got to do is jack it up. You can see there where it's popped the bead up off of the rim. Now the one downside to this is because it's a floor jack and you don't have a whole lot of surface area, a lot of times you might have to do it 2 or 3 times to get that tire to pop off the bead. But sometimes it'll do it in just one shot. Now always make sure you release the jack down before you take the ratchet strap back off. So in this case, it popped the whole tire off the bead, which is good. Now we just gotta do the same to the other side, which is a 100% repeat of the same exact steps, just flipped over. Now I will tell you too, the one thing I forgot to mention in the last tire change is that you wanna take the tire off from the valve stem side. So you take it off there and you put the tire back on with the valve stem being the first side. That has to do with the wheel design. There's a hump inside the wheel where the tire can sit in, and that makes it easier to install it and remove it. All right. And there it is. Now we have both sides popped. Gotta do the same thing, spoon it off. Let me show you the next trick. I'm also gonna let Ian do this one. Ha. Fast little lizard. Now this next one you rock crawler guys might like. This is actually using your trailer jack. See if it works. Now I've personally never done this before. I was just told that this is a way that some other guys have popped their tire bead off. So figured, well, might as well try it. One of the things that you do have to do is make sure that your trailer is actually hooked up to a vehicle. Otherwise it's just gonna jack the trailer up. So same concept follows. You want the edge of the jack against the edge of the rim without actually touching the rim, and then probably standing on this side of the tire as well. Cool. Well, how about that? Well, we're good on the one side. Let's see if it works the same on the back side. I'm gonna do the same thing and see how it happens. Just like using a floor jack, this is gonna work, but I'm gonna have to pop it and then turn it and then pop it again to get it all the way out. Okay, so you can see that it's low on this side, but it's still not down over here. So I just gotta turn the tire like so. We'll jack it down, that'll pop it free. So this tire took 3 rotations to actually get it to break off the bead. Now that could be partly to do because maybe the tire was stuck on there good. It just sticks on sometimes better than other ones. Or it could be because there's not enough surface area on here to actually push around the tire and get it off the bead. Either way, it still works, and it is a way to change your tire out in the field. I do feel like this last one though is probably gonna be one of your favorites. It's definitely one of mine, and it's what I carry with me all the time anymore. To the other side. Now this last way to get a tire off the bead is probably my favorite. It's with this tool right here. I found this thing on Amazon. I'll add a link below in the description so you guys can get one if you'd like. This is called the Beadbuster 550. Now they do make a smaller version of this for like car tires and stuff, but I got the big one because I use it for breaking the beads off on my rock crawlers. You know, I got a bead lock on one side and then the other side seated in there pretty good. This thing seems to work really well. Let me show you how it works. So all you do is push the handle back down in there, and then you can zip it tight with this bolt. And then this bolt here, you just zip it down. And just like that, I went ahead and popped that tire right off the bead. So this is like one of my new favorite tools. I carry this, it's small and compact too, so I can carry it in my truck when I'm hauling my rock crawlers around. And yeah, not too bad. Let's see how fast it'll do the other side. So even though it didn't get it all the way off in one shot, it's really easy to go ahead and just change it over to the next side of this bead pretty quick. And just like that, we got them off. So hopefully that gave you 4 simple ways that you can change a tire off the bead if you're in a predicament where you got to do it with stuff that you might or should have with your vehicle at some point or another. If you guys have another way of taking a tire off a bead, because I've seen people try to drive on top of them and that does not work at all. I've tried it myself and it's like maybe 1 in 100 times it works, at least in my case. If you guys got a way that you can break a tire off the bead mobily and not with a tire machine, let me know down below, because I'd actually be curious to know how you can do it. And as always, if this video is helpful, please make sure you like and subscribe, give me a comment, give me a like, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.